Why do major financial institutions and government agencies still rely on the waterfall methodology for multimillion-dollar software projects? Today, we are breaking down traditional Waterfall SDLC step by step using a real banking project scenario with zero coding required. Welcome back to Career Growth Lab. Drop a quick comment below. Have you ever worked on a project where plans were fixed before work started? Let's dive right into slide 2. So, what is the waterfall methodology? Waterfall is a linear, sequential SDLC model where each phase must be 100% completed and formally signed off before the next phase can begin. Think of it like constructing a physical bridge across a river. You cannot start pouring concrete pillars until the structural engineering blueprints are finalized, and you cannot lay asphalt until the pillars are set. Once concrete is poured, going back to change the blueprint is extremely expensive. In software, waterfall works the exact same way, flowing steadily downward from requirements to design, coding, testing, and deployment. Let's trace this step by step using our ongoing project, Apex Bank's core banking migration. In phase 1, requirements gathering, you as the BA interview department heads and produce a 100-page business requirements document, BRD. In phase 2, system design, technical architects design data schemas based on your signed-off BRD. Resume tip, approving SOPs or compliance checklists in non-IT jobs maps directly to phase 1 and to sign-offs. In phase 3, implementation, developers code the system strictly according to design specs. In phase 4, testing, QA engineers test the entire software build. In phase 5, deployment, the system goes live across all bank branches. Now, what is the single biggest trap for a business analyst in a waterfall project? It's unmanaged scope creep after phase sign-off. Because waterfall doesn't easily accommodate changes late in the project. If a stakeholder wants to add a new feature during phase 3 development, you cannot just casually tell developers to add it. You must enforce a formal change request process, CR, to evaluate cost, delay, and impact. If you skip formal requirements sign-off in phase 1, fixing missed requirements in phase 4 testing can delay project launch by months. Let's look at how a BA manages waterfall conversations between business stakeholders and developers. Translation 1. The head of compliance says, regulations changed. We must store audit logs for 7 years instead of 3. As the BA, you don't say no, you translate this into a formal change request. CR 042 modifies BRD section 4.2. Increases database log retention to 84 months. Requires technical reassessment of phase to storage architecture. Translation 2. A software developer says, we can't start coding because the BRD hasn't been signed off by risk management. As the BA, you translate this for business leadership. Coding start is pending formal risk sign-off. Securing sign-off today prevents rework during phase 4 testing. What everyday tools does a BA use in a waterfall environment? Confluence or MS Word for drafting structured BRDs and functional requirement specifications, FRS. Microsoft Visio or Lucid Chart for drawing formal process flowcharts and data flow diagrams. Jira or MS Project for tracking requirement traceability matrices, RTM, and project milestones. Remember, these tools require zero programming knowledge. If you can format a standard document or draw a flowchart in PowerPoint, you can easily handle waterfall documentation. How do you showcase waterfall experience on your resume when coming from a non-IT background? Frame your past experience around waterfall governance terms. Operations administration, highlight how you audited workflows, maintained compliance documentation, or signed off on standard operating procedures, that is requirement sign-off and baseline management. Sales customer service, Highlight how you gathered detailed client specifications before contract signing, that is scope definition. Quality control operations. Highlight how you verified final deliverables against strict guidelines, that is acceptance testing. Let's recap today's waterfall essentials. Sequential flow. Each phase must finish before the next begins. Heavy documentation. Business analysts lead the way with detailed BRDs and sign-offs. Change control is critical. Any scope change requires a formal CR. Open file folder. You can grab our free waterfall cheat sheet, sign-off checklist, and BRD templates right now at bakeries.in/what-is-waterfall-methodology-or-model/ to keep for your interview preparation. So, what happens when business requirements change constantly and you cannot wait months for a final software release? That is where Agile and Scrum come in. In our very next lesson, we are breaking down Agile framework fundamentals, and trust me, it completely flips traditional waterfall on its head. Hit the like button, subscribe to Career Growth Lab, and answer today's question in the comments. Would you prefer working on structured waterfall projects or fast-paced Agile sprints? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in Lesson 3.